All right, it's time for some boxing talks. Sonny Edwards had a very good showing today against. His name is hard to pronounce, man. There's a lot of consonants in there. Mithelani. It was what I would describe as a minimalist approach to winning a boxing match, but you do what works for you, and that's what Sonny did. I think that was very intelligent of him. I think he showed a good engine, showed a good gas tank. He's not much of a power puncher, but that much was obvious. He didn't try to be, and that's what's encouraging, that he knows what his strengths are and he knows what his limitations are. How long can he last as a champion? Well, that depends. How long does it take for him to have a unification match? What's good? Iron Kong, Shadow Boxing, Luis Puente, Hustle, Vic, JD, Luis. To answer your question, Luis, I think that the only time that he's gonna be in a fight that anybody cares about is when he moves up to 168. As long as he's at middleweight, he's not gonna fight nobody. Which is why it's like I kind of thought last year that by this year he would have moved up to 168 because Caleb Plant is up there, David Benavidez is up there. There's fights for him up there that he could stay on his side of the street and have those fights. But he's still at middleweight. And so long as he's still at middleweight, who is he going to fight? He ain't going to get a Golovkin fight. And I'm not even capping for Golovkin because he another one that I'm just tired of him. Like, bro, you don't want to fight nobody. But as long as Jamal is at middleweight, he's not gonna fight nobody, man. Because look at the games that they playing with Andre. When they offered you the money to come to the zone, you didn't want to take it. Okay, cool. Now they telling you, yo, we'll send Andre to you if y'all want to do it that way. And Tom Brown is over there playing games like, oh, of course y'all want to send him to us because y'all don't want to pay for the fight. They offered to pay for the fight. What are you talking about? Sophia was good. Bad shit was good. Crazy D3 was good. Next level was good. Fight is not something they strive off of. You right, bro. I think they laundering money over there, Alexis. I'm gonna shoot you a link. I think they laundering money over there, bro. Cause I'm like, yo, y'all can't be making money off of these fights. Y'all can't be. Y'all laundering money over there or something, because y'all can't be making money off these fights, B. I don't think Chris Eubank Jr. knocks out Demetrius Andrade. I don't. He's too tall, too long, too awkward. If you could keep a pressure fighter like Artur Akavov at bay, a guy that only knows how to come forward and win the fight with just one hand, I don't see Chris having no luck with a guy like that, bro. I don't see Chris having no luck with somebody like that. I don't know, Luis. I really don't. Like, I don't know how they making money. Let me ask Spade. Yo, Spade, how is the PBC making money, man? They laundering money over there. What's going on over there, bro?
You know what? I was like, as soon as you went live, I was about to say, I think they're laundering money.
I'm dead ass. I think they laundering money over there because I'm like, yo, you can't make money off of Lara versus Cornflake. How you gonna make money off of that?
But I have a strange theory, right? And like, you know, if you poke holes in it if you want to, right? But let's be honest, right? None of these fights that like most of the fights that the PBC put on can't be fights that people are making like high revenue in it, right?
They not.
I believe, and this is just my theory, right? That when Al Heyman makes these deals with these networks, that somehow these fighters get a piece of the deal directly. If you know what I mean.
No, I see what you mean. Like that, maybe they're minority shareholders in the company.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that because it makes sense that like you got a whole stable of fighters, right? That for the most part, if you really look at the stable, which fighter is hungry? I don't count Jaron Ennis because he has like a different promotional situation that he's still in. Like it's a situation that, as far as I know, he hasn't really gotten out of. But he's the only fighter over there that I think is really for real hungry that he want fights and shit like that. All them other guys that been there, Keith and Danny and Jamal, them cats ain't hungry, man. They don't even want fights. They turn down money.
And that's the thing, right? Because all right, if we go by what these fighters make, right? These fighters aren't making money to where they can be so relaxed.
They not.
They're not. So if these fighters are relaxed the way they are, they have to be getting some kind of revenue for them to just be so nonchalant about their careers.
Hold on, let me fill this question. Alexis was good. Let me fill this question. Base jumper, let me ask you a question. Who the fuck is the best guy that Chris Eubank Jr. beat? That I'm supposed to believe he beats Andre. Andre just went balls to the wall with Liam Williams, bro. I don't even know if Chris Eubank Jr. could beat that dude, man. I don't. Who's the best guy that
Oh
Chris
my
beat?
God.
I need to know.
Oh my God. Chris, you bet you. Why is that motherfucker even being mentioned, bro? Like, yo, I don't understand.
I don't like. I don't know who to like. I guess I think the best guy that he beat, and I'm not playing like I'm dead ass, is Avni Yildirim because he knocked him out in the world
Wow.
in the first quarter of the World Boxing Super Series, the first season. That's like the best guy that I seen him beat.
Listen. The height, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. So listen, the height of that guy's career, didn't he peak when he wasn't it when he faced as a matter of fact, the guy who's fighting Canelo this weekend?
Billy Joe Saunders.
Right. So like right before that, he was like being mentioned to get Golovkin. Was that before the Golovkin fiasco?
That was yeah. That was sometime like that was a few years and a couple of fights. He lost because Saunders gave him his first L, and
Okay.
he bounced back off of that. He did. He had a couple of fights after that,
Okay.
and then like I'm gonna say 2017. This was years later. This is years later.
Right. So this is what I can't explain to myself. Right. So you have fighters who go through one loss, and all of a sudden they get written off.
Yeah.
They get written off. They were hype jobs. Who the hell they are? You know what I mean? They never get mentioned. They never get taken seriously. Here he is. He loses to Billy Joe Saunders. Then he still creates a heightened buzz. So much of a buzz that Triple G had to pay attention to him. Right? They offer him a contract. It was all ready to go. He fronts on the contract. Do you remember all this? When
Yeah, I remember,
started
bro. I
talking to
remember, yo, bro. I talk about that shit on the daily. That I'm like,
Listen,
yo,
and then,
the ass whooping that Kel Brook got, that was supposed to be for Chris. That
Right.
was supposed to be his ass whooping.
exactly, right? So then he goes on to, I don't know how the hell he bounced back from that. But then he catches another beatdown in the World Super Series, wasn't it? Against a guy that was past prime. Wasn't he that guy past prime?
Yeah, I mean, you know what the shit was? I'm gonna tell you what. George was past his prime, and the reason that we know that is because remember, after the Callum Smith fight, he beat Chris, then he fought Callum Smith. After that fight, when he lost to Callum, he retired. So you know that he was on the back nine because it was Chris Eubank and Callum Smith, and that was his last two fights.
That was it. So he basically gets beat by somebody who has one foot out the door, and he still gets to create like waves because he was going to sign the PBC. That was a big deal. He comes out of the PBC. He's now with Sauerland. He's still like taking serious. Like based on what?
Yo, I don't know, B.
That's what I don't get about this boxing shit. Like, let me tell you, man, a lot of these so-called knowledgeable fans are nothing but name jockeys. They hear a freaking name and they react to it. Oh, that's a good fight. Oh, that's a name. Oh, that's a good. That's
yo,
a good
real
name.
shit. Because real shit. Like, look, motherfucking peep this shit, and you gonna laugh when I think it was not last year, but the year before that. Charlo was doing the same shit 2 years ago that he's doing now, right?
Mhm.
So Jaime Munguia had a hard fight with this guy at 154.
Right.
What do they do?
Right.
Instead of seeing about like, yo, maybe we should look at a Munguia or somebody like that, they bring up Dennis fucking Hogan.
Dennis Hogan.
Dennis Hogan.
The legendary Dennis Hogan.
I'm like, so you telling me I'm supposed to get hot?
Exactly.
You turned down.
Exactly.
You turned down Andre and $7 million to fight fucking Dennis Hogan?
Yo, my man, listen. Jamal Charlo still hasn't answered the Korobov question.
He to me he hasn't. To me he lost that fight.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree. He couldn't miss him with the straight left hand. Every time he fucking threw it.
Listen. One of the things you want to do as a promoter, if you're building a fighter, is that you need him to answer questions, right? So the guy has this shit fight against Korobov. He got exposed. It was on Channel 5, but it was one of his Fox. They opened up the
it was the Fox. It was on Fox.
They opened up the Fox contract, right? So he shits the bed against Korobov. Still gets the decision, and you don't want to maybe bring him back against Korobov again, like they did with who was it?
Espera, porque tú no oíste lo que él dijo recently. You didn't hear what he said. You know that recently he signed with Solid Promotions, right?
This Korobov?
No. Chris Eubank.
Chris Eubank.
He left the PBC, right? He left them. He went over to Solid. This week, he had an interview, and he was like, yo, I was in the United States for a while, and he said something about them not having no money. He didn't say it like, yo, the PBC ain't have no money, but he said it without saying it. They're like, yo, I was based out of the U.S. for a while, da-da-da-da-da. They ain't had no money over there, and I thought about this was this week, bro, when they was asking him a bunch of shit, because he about to fight this weekend on the undercard of Chisora versus Parker. And they was asking him, like, yo, well, what the fuck happened? You was in the U.S., da-da-da. He was like, yo, they ain't had no bread over there. And where he's been at.
They exactly had the greatest fights on TV. I mean, some of them were okay, but there was no spectacular fights. So they weren't making any money.
Dan, I don't think they could afford spectacular fights, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That, and I've been saying this for 3 years. They don't have enough fight dates for all of those fighters, and them fighters is okay with that. Hold on, them fighters is okay with that because them guys don't want to fight anyway. They get financial incentives not to fight. That's what I firmly believe,
and that's what's hurting boxing. Is that they incentivize fighters not to fight each other. It's ridiculous.
I think there is no single promotional entity that hurts boxing more than the PBC.
Easily,
man. They got too many pseudo big names that are based on nothing. If you look at the big names, one by one, you look at the based on the only guy que se le puede sacar la comida aparte, which means the only guy that you could take, serve his food apart is Jermell Charlo.
Exactamente. Yo voy a decir esto. There's maybe 3 to 4 fighters allá que me gusta. Me gusta el Stephen Fulton. Me gusta ese.
And he's really PBC, but go ahead.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that he's real. I don't even know that I could consider him that, but
backdoor PBC. He's one of their chosen ones and nothing like that. But
exactly, like the promotion is not really behind him. But I like Stephen Fulton. I like Jermell Charlo. I say it all the time. I think Caleb Plant could be better. I think. Hold on, somebody got a lot of clicking going on. What's that clicking? Hold on, let me lower my volume. Maybe that's me.
It's not mine.
All right, let me see. I still hear that motherfucking clicking.
Hello. Is it me?
No, that's not you. I think that's me. I'm gonna take myself out and put myself back.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Clicking.
I still hear clicking. I don't know why. Anyway, to make a long story short,
Okay, go ahead.
Stephen Fulton, Jermel Charlo, Caleb Plant, maybe Jaron Ennis. Though I feel like it's like I don't want to.
He's not PPC.
I don't want to say nothing bad about him because I don't. It's not like he did something wrong. It's just like, yo, how the fuck y'all so hype over this guy? Like he ain't do nothing yet.
But he's not PPC though.
Tampoco. That's the other thing that he's really not PBC.
He's
Not really. He fight over there, but he's not really PBC.
Yeah, Showtime's playing the liaison between him and the PBC. He's Cameron Duncan.
Well, one thing you notice too, Charlo ain't got no interest in rematching Korobov at all because I think it's too high of a risk because he could actually get beat and lose his belt.
Exactly. To me, see, this is one of the things. Cause look, I'm not the type of person that's gonna complain and then not, tell you what's wrong and then not tell you what I think would make it right. See, one of the things with the PBC, right, is that they don't get to, like I said, they don't answer questions. So let's take it all the way back to Porter versus Thurman. That was one of the best fights the PBC has ever put on, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That fight was riveting. Why wasn't there an immediate rematch?
You know what? I'm gonna say this. Al Heyman, and I say it all the time, but like I say it to the point to where it might sound like a broken record. But look at the kind of purses that Leo Santa Cruz was getting in the early days of the PBC, and understand that when you give a guy that kind of money to fight them kind of people, he going to demand buku dollars to fight somebody with a pulse when you paying him like that to fight them kind of people. So when you overpay Thurman, right, and you overpay Porter, suddenly the rematch is more expensive than it should be. You should be able to stage the rematch easy peasy, but because you pay these guys like they're stars all the time, yo, rematches and shit like that ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
Because their pockets aren't deep enough.
Okay.
You give a guy like Danny Garcia, right, $1 million to fight an Ivan Redkach. What kind of fucking money is it gonna take for him to fight a Terrence Crawford? What kind of money?
Ouch.
Think about that. When you when you overpay, and overpaying is real. I'm sorry if that offends certain people, but it's real. If you pay someone in excess of the value of the fight, yo, when you tell them, yo, fight somebody with a pulse, they're not going to want to, not unless you're ready to give them an arm and a leg.
This is very, very true. This is very, very true.
But what Bob does is, and some people don't like it, and people still get mad at me because I still like how he grooms fighters, regardless of what's going on. He still grooms fighters better than anybody. Send one of his fighters to any other stable and watch them come back with a fucking belt. Watch them do it.
Yo,
watch them.
Top Rank is gladiator school, bro. Listen, that shit last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever, on the undercard of Navarrete. The Ortiz kid against the Adorno kid. Both 14-0 fighters. At the PBC, I guarantee you Adorno would be 20-0, 21-0, 22-0. Some shit like that. But they've been putting him tough. He got 2 draws in a row. I mean, he had 1 draw already. Then they put him against a hungry-ass kid that's very aptly named the Technician, right? Hungry kid from Massachusetts. They have a kid from Massachusetts. They have a kid from Pennsylvania. Hungry ass, 14-0, both of them. One has more power. You know that they would like to see Adorno win that. You understand? But at the end of the day, they'll put him in there to see what's what. You get a great ass fight. And one of the things about that fight, it was like on the level of like those Ring City matches, like that. You know what I'm saying? So they have that in-house, those kind of level fights in-house. They put it in the stage because at the end of the day, they want to know what you have, and the premium, they place the focus on the entertainment of the viewing audience, right? So now what happens is that they had this draw. So guess what? They're calling an immediate rematch. Boom.
What I'm gonna say is also that you would never get a fight like Navarrete versus Ruiz for free on the PBC. You would never.
Oh God, no.
Hold on, I'm trying to
God,
fix this mic situation. Let
Hello?
me see what's good with the mic. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. You can hear me?
God, no, you never would. Not with the PBC at all.
You mean
But
Navarrete against Diaz?
Right.
Yes.
exactly. Like you seen how good that fight was, and you realize that if that was on the PBC, bruh, them motherfuckers will make you pay an arm and a leg for that shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I would like for the most thing that I see about this whole thing is that I sincerely, I've said this before, PBC fans do not want to see fights. They don't want to see fights made.
No, they don't.
They'd rather live in the uncertainty and the fantasy of, the eye test, right?
Well,
Hello? Hello?
You know what I'm saying? They'd rather
Yo, hold on. I'm trying to check
opinion.
these mics because I'm trying to see whose mic is clicking. I hear clicking and I'm like, I know it's not me. Then I think it's your mic that's clicking because when I muted your joint, see now I hear the clicking again.
How's
Let me
everybody
see.
doing?
Hold on,
How
give me
can
a
it be
second.
mine though?
I hear clicking now, and I'm not talking.
Let me see. Let me listen for the clicking. See, now I don't hear no clicking. Now I don't hear no clicking.
No.
Now let me
All
see.
right, I'll talk. I'll talk now.
Yeah, see, now I heard the clicking. Now I can hear the clicking.
Hello?
All right, go ahead, Alex.
Hey, could y'all hear me?
What was that? Oh yeah, so they'd rather live in the fantasy of the eye test and the never ending.
It's not just the fantasy of the eye test though. Like I still hear that motherfucking clicking. Where is that coming from?
I noticed. Let me see. When I talk, I think it's happening when anybody talks.
Let me see. Now it's mute your mic,
Could y'all
Alex. Mute your mic.
Okay, hold on.
All right, I'm muted.
All right, not you, Alexis. Not you. Let me see. Talk. Alexis, unmute your mic.
Hello.
All right, talk.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't hear no clicking. But back to what we was talking. Just back to what we was talking about.
Okay.
It's not even about the eye test. It's that they view the PBC. They view that as like it's like something other than a boxing outfit.
Yeah.
And I've been saying that like it's not about boxing for some of these cats. They look at the PBC as if that's like the National Action Network. Like, no, motherfuckers, it's a boxing group. It's just a boxing outfit. Like Top Rank, like Golden Boy, like man, that's all the fuck it is.
It's a civil rights movement for them. It's a civil rights movement.
That's why they eating that shit like it's a fucking like it's not Al Heyman. It's Jesse. No, it's not Jesse Jackson, bro. It's just a boxing outfit.
Exactly,
That's it.
man. Exactly. It's just crazy, and they'd rather sit there.
Hear me?
And you know what? I don't remember if you remember. I mean, I don't know if you remember. I did this video on where I dissected Gary Russell Jr.'s resume up until the point where he fought Lomachenko, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and Gary Russell Jr. had over 200 amateur fights, right around 200.
Listen, Gary, look. Gary is another cat. Hold on, y'all gotta hold on. I'm just it's just gonna be me and Alexis for a second because somebody mic is bugging out and people are complaining in the comments. So let me see what's going on with that. All right, now let me see, and I still hear that motherfucking clicking. What is that?
All right.
Let me hold on. I'm gonna use my headphones and see if that make a difference. I don't know where that clicking is coming from.
When you talk, but when I talk, it's not clicking.
Have two tabs open, like a YouTube tab and
Who, me?
you got like two tabs open. Like, how are you on it? Like, are you on your phone or you on a computer?
I'm on my phone.
It might be the phone. But I don't hear the clicking now, though. That's the funny thing. I don't hear it. I got headphones on.
That's what I'm. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I don't
Boom,
hear no
boom,
clicking.
boom.
All right, now I'm gonna say this about Gary Russell. Gary Russell is like, he's talented. You could see that. But at the same time, if I bring up Gary Russell and I say that somebody else is number one in the division, a whole lot of people gonna get fucking mad. And I'm like, wow, this man been fighting once a year for like 5 years. How the fuck could he be number one? That don't even make sense. The dude has had 5 fights in 5 years. How could he be number one? Based on what? He ain't unified shit, right?
Gary Russell, man, like this is what I don't understand. Nobody expects anything from him.
Nope.
They don't say, why don't he move up to face this guy? They don't want the unification between him and Leo Santa Cruz.
Nope.
They don't want him facing a Navarrete. They didn't want him. Nobody spoke of him versus Shakur, which would have been such a great fight. It would have been two technicians in there.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's fine. Gary Russell can just fight his Mandos, and now he's gonna bring up Ray Vargas. I'm supposed to be excited about Ray Vargas stepping up to him, Ray Vargas, who really didn't do much where he came from. You understand?
He didn't. It's not like Ray Vargas did a whole bunch of shit at 122 and then moved up. He didn't do shit.
Exactly. So there is no sequence of events that leads to anything over at the PBC. There's no storyline. There's no natural rivalries. There is none of that. None of that. None of those things that make, for me, in my estimation, boxing great. You understand what I'm saying? Now I sound like a MAGA supporter. But
no, but it's the truth though. Like the things that make, like, look, Gary's career is going where, bro? Where exactly is it going? Where is Leo's career going?
And where did it go? I mean, where did it come from? Are any of them the Hall of Fame? Like Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz went on a really good run when they did the back-to-back Frampton fights.
Yep.
It begged for a third fight. Never happened. It
was supposed to go down in Belfast.
Right. And then before that, Leo Santa Cruz could have really, really set, his status as the upper echelon of Mexicans, which I think really came back to bite him, is when he didn't give the Mexican fan or the boxing fan the fight that they wanted to see from him, which was him against Rigondo.
Yep.
Never happened. Instead,
and that's the story with all of their fighters, bro. Yeah, that's like, think about it. Peter Quillen versus Golovkin was a conversation. Leo Santa Cruz never happened. It never happened. Germán Charlo and Demetrius Andrade has been a conversation for like what, 4 fucking years now.
Fights that you want to see.
They offered the stupid shit is they offered you to fight to come over to them. You didn't want to do that, so they say, okay, do you want us to send Andre to you? No, we don't want to do that either. Okay, so what the fuck do you want to do? Juan Montiel. That's what the fuck you want to do,
right? And sit there and complain about being ducked.
The shit is bro. Like I said, like them guys that is PBC like diehard supporters or whatever. Those is not boxing fans, bro. That shit is a cult. That shit is a legit cult.
You know a fighter that was legitimately ducked. We both know. You may not like him, and no. Now he's not that. Now he's not where he was before. Now he's on the other side. I believe he's ducking people now. But there was a time when Triple G was being ducked. It was clear.
Yeah, I mean that's a given. That's a given. They was using his name for all type of shit.
Exactly. Everybody and their mother was avoiding this guy. What did he do? He took the steps necessary. He took the long fucking road to a big fight, bro.
But I'm gonna say this much: for all the criticism,
it's prey.
for all the criticism that I have for Triple G, right? We could say this much. They paid this motherfucker $14 million to fight Steve Rose, bruh.
Yes.
14 million. So
Yeah.
whatever the fuck he did, he must have did something right. Because you
Yeah.
can have Jermall Charlo fight Steve Rose 14 times. He won't make $14 million.
Hello. You know, and I'm glad you bring up the money because I'm like, yo, man, how come when Triple G signs a contract, right? You hear, okay, they're gonna pay him 14 million. Canelo is okay, 36 million. You're gonna get that. Pacquiao, yeah, 25 million or 140 million against Floyd. You hear the fucking number. The PBC is always no, it's the back end money.
Yeah. Like, what are they paying those guys? Like day laborers? Like, yo, we're gonna pay you in popcorn and hot dogs and t-shirts.
What is that? what is that? I'm tired of complaining about the PBC. I will tell you this, man. One of the things that I found out, especially in the Twitterverse, is really how much knowledge is out there and how much people really do think low of the PBC. In other platforms, I think that you get a lot more knuckleheads, and it seems like that thinking is more prevalent. But when you go out there on boxing Twitter, and it's like it's a big fucking place, you know what I mean? And then you see what the real thought behind, you know, is, except for Mike Coppinger.
Yo, every pay-per-view does 300,000.
Oh my god! Mike Coppinger, bro, he's got 300,000. That shit is like, you know what they call that shit is already it's already printed. You know, he's just got insert names.
Bro, I wouldn't be surprised if he posts a set of numbers tonight to fucking fight.
Listen, oh my god, did you hear how that dude talked about the Arreola Ruiz fight? He actually said this. Listen, he actually said this. He said, "Oh, Arreola Ruiz, you know, give me a good undercard, and I'll sign me up for some of that."
Oh, yo, B, I see that, and I'm like, man, listen, man, it ain't enough cases of corona to make me say that dumb shit.
Yo, my man, listen, what little respect I have for that guy went out the fucking window. Sign me up for some of that. I'm like,
bro, like really, dog? We just got Navarrete and Diaz, and no, you're not gonna get a fight like that every fucking Saturday. You're not.
Then last week or whatever, you know why he comes? It's the first thing. Oh, that they announced that Valdez might fight Robinson Conceição. And if we could, let's talk about this for a minute, please. That he's gonna fight Robinson Conceição next. And he shits all over that fight. He shits all over Top Rank. And then he's like, yo, look at now they're giving us Robinson Conceição against Valdez instead of making the Herring. Like, it's the end of the world. And Top Rank's everything that's wrong with boxing. Meanwhile, if he had an iota of integrity and this would be worth the J in journalists, you would figure out, right, that what's going on is this. Herring, as he's announced, that he's going to fight Shakur. But that's not going to be till about September or so.
Exactly. That's later this year because Shakur about to fight Nekathalia.
Right. That was going to be
June
for
or some shit.
That was going to be for a vacant. So if you have that piece of information, you will understand that the Herring versus Valdez fight wasn't going to be of as great an import as it would be down the road, right? Because it would have been for a vacant. I mean, it would have been just a Herring against Valdez with no WBO belt on the line. Shakur would have fought for a fucking vacant, which would have demoted the validity of that fight. And what this guy was trying to do, Harry was trying to like incite what's this guy Dougie Fisher to throw in the Ring magazine belt,
Mm-hmm.
even if the WBO belt wasn't it, which didn't make sense. You understand? So like pay attention to what's going on.
Well, bro, listen, it ain't even that. It's more like Top Rank is giving us Ramirez versus Taylor, regular ESPN, right? We get Joe Smith Jr. versus Artur Better Beef, regular
Coming down the pipe.
regular, just like Better Beef versus Vosdick, regular ESPN. Lopez versus Lomachenko, regular ESPN. So you could turn around and tell me that I need to pay to see these two motherfuckers, and no, in the undercard, Figueroa versus Ramos. Those two motherfuckers is coming off of losses. Right. Ruiz and Areola is coming off of losses. Figueroa and Ramos is coming off of losses. So you could turn around and tell me that I gotta pay for that shit?
Oh, Figueroa. Omar Figueroa. Like, why is that guy's name?
You remember when Ugas beat the shit out of him?
Yo, my man, do I? Omar Figueroa beats the shit out of himself with his fucking drinking.
Oh shit!
You understand what I'm saying? He beats the shit out of himself. Who the fuck is Omar Figueroa? What did he accomplish? Why is that name big? I don't understand.
It's none of Danny Garcia is the poster child of why the fuck is this guy's name big? He's the poster, like, yo, dog, like, he's been at welterweight for 7 fucking years. He hasn't been as solid. He has, bro. He moved up years ago.
Wow.
The Rod fucking Stalker fight, the Paulie Malignaggi fight, all that shit happened mad long ago. I'm like, so hold up. This dude been at welterweight for 6-7 years, just about. And he hasn't beaten not one solid welterweight in 7 fucking years. All we could talk about is, oh, well, he beat Amir Khan and Lucas McKeown. You know that shit was 7 years ago and it was at 140?
Right.
Won't you get the fuck out of here with that shit? Danny Garcia's a big win. Fuck out of here.
He's elite.
Wait, how the fuck is he elite? Look. Regis Prograrius just for Ivan Redcat, right? We know that Ivan took a dive. Ivan did not want to be there, bro. He got hit with a couple of straight lefts and he decided, I don't fucking want to be here. With Danny, he could deal with Danny for 12 rounds. He bit fucking Danny. He bit Danny. He got banned by the New York State Athletic Commission.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Wow. It's like
la vaina que pasa allá es increíble. It's like, yo, that's ese mundo. That's not boxing, bro. Yo no sé lo que esa vaina es, but that shit is not boxing.
Yo, the crackling is bad, bro.
Look, Jared Hurd, where the fuck has he been for 12 months?
Oh,
where he been at?
That was one of the guys that I used to like of the
Me
BBC.
too. Me too.
I thought this guy, I like Jared Hurd. I like the way he fights. He fought legitimate guys. You know? He
fought last year in January before the pandemic hit. He fought Francisco Santana. But the shit is that pandemia no pandemia. If Matchroom is having fights and Top Rank is having fights, and even Golden Boy had a couple of cards. Y'all motherfuckers is wild. Inactive at the PBC. Hell, y'all was inactive before the pandemic hit. That been y'all MO.
Word.
Blame it on the fucking pandemic when Gary Russell has been fighting once a year for 5 years. Now, peep game that in January, the WBC ordered Gary Russell versus Ray Vargas. We're going into month number 5 of 2021, and we still don't have a fight date for that.
Yeah,
he ain't on the Showtime schedule. He ain't on it.
Who's that? You said again?
Gary Russell versus Ray Vargas. Remember, the WBC ordered that fight.
Right.
That was in January, bro. That was in January they ordered that fight.
And
We in fucking May. We basically in May.
The WBC ordered that fight, in my opinion, was cock blocking. What's his name?
Navarrete.
No, the other guy, the guy that was supposed to fight Navarrete for the WBO from Top Rank, the lefty Mexican dude, the guy who lost to Dog Bay and moved up.
Oh, wait a minute. Nah, I don't think they was cock blocking. You talking about Magdaleno?
Yes, Magdaleno would have been the man though.
Wow. Yeah, I just remembered that. Yeah.
Magdaleno was the man though for the WBC. When they gave Magdaleno the fight between him and Navarrete for the WBO 126, he said, "Yo, I'm rated number 1 in the WBC. I don't really need to do this fight against Navarrete. I'd rather go this way." So that's what he did. That's when Navarrete ended up fighting Ruben Villa, which that's a good win. Ruben Villa was supposed to be all that and a piece of bacon, right?
That is a good one.
All right. Ruben Villa was supposed to be all that and a piece of bacon. He's the guy that had been fighting at 126 all his career. Navarrete's moving up. That's a fucking give Navarrete some credit for that, right? So Magdaleno was saying, "I'm gonna go the WBC route. I'll fight Gary Russell." That's what he wanted to do. That would have been a great fight. I was looking forward to that.
I mean, listen.
Ray Vargas jumps up.
Listen, I told you. As soon as Navarrete became WBO champion, right? He took care of Isaac Dogboe in the rematch. He starts talking about, "I want Ray Vargas. Ray Vargas has my phone number. If you want to unify, all he got to do is call me." The next motherfucking thing you heard, yo, Ray Vargas went to the PBC. And we ain't seen him since. We have not seen him since.
Exactly. Let me tell you, if Ray Vargas would have been with Golden Boy, that fight would have been made. Bam.
Yep.
End the story. Whether it was on the zone or whether it was on top, wherever it would have been made, they would have made that nice money. It would have been made. But when you're looking for an order of protection,
that's how I took the shit.
Yo, when you're looking for solitary confinement, you go to the fucking PBC, where you're nice and protected behind the walls, bro. You looking
like,
for
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not even sure that he really broke his leg. If I'm being 100%, I don't think I don't know, because I'm like, bro, like, really, you broke your leg as soon as you got over there? Damn, so what, are you just like the unluckiest motherfucker ever? Or are you sitting it out?
Wow. Right, and then they gave his belt to Neri. Right?
Yep. No. What? Oh, yeah, you're right. They gave it to Neri. Yeah. And
he conveniently moves up to then give Gary Russell a Mexican name that he could beat up on, because he's not going to win that fight.
Well, what they're going to do, which I don't think is that bad, right? They're going to have Brandon fight Neri. And then the winner of Brandon Figueroa versus Neri fight Stephen Fulton, which I don't mind. It's a unification match. I don't mind. But you could see that Ray Vargas' move upstairs was planned. Like, that's planned, bro. Like, that's why you're doing that.
Explain that to me again. Brandon Figueroa, he has a belt at 122?
No. Brandon has a WBA baby belt, right? He about to fight Neri for the WBC. The winner of that fight is going to go on to unify with Stephen Fulton, which is WBC, WBO unification.
Okay.
So, eso está bien. That's okay. That's cool. I like that. It's just that you could see that Ray Vargas' move upstairs, yo, that shit was planned, bro. Like, I don't even know if he really broke his leg. A part of me feel like, nah, you didn't break your leg. They gave you like $100,000 and was like, yo, you know what? Just chill out for 12 months. Take this money to pay your bills and all of that, and just cool out. And when we got a fight for you, we'll call you. That's what I think they did. They paid him not to fight. They paid him not to fight and not to take fights. Wow. Because if you gonna tell a motherfucker not to fight, right? if you the fighter, you be like, well, okay, well, I don't fight nobody, but I need fucking money. You can't tell me not to fight and don't give me no money. So I figure they probably gave him like $100,000 to $200,000. Yo, here's $200,000. Take the rest of the year off. Just cool out. Go have some fun. And when we got a fight for you, we'll call you. That's what I think they did.
That's crazy.
I swear to God, they're paying them guys not to fight.
Well, that's obvious.
How you think Anthony Durrell got that car, bro? That dude ain't fought in how long? But he got that nice ass car.
That is a nice car.
You know what I'm saying? Looking at his shit like, how the fuck does he have this car? This man don't even be fighting.
How does he? Fuck that. How does he always end up in a fucking championship eliminator? Like, what the hell?
He won of Al Heyman's Darlings, bro.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Anthony Durrell is forever in some eliminator. And guess what? He'll still be considered like a good name for somebody who's actually elite. Like he's a good name. Didn't he get beat up by Benavidez?
Yeah, he got that's what happened. Benavidez lost the belt on the scales. Then they had Anthony Durrell and Abney fight for it. Anthony beat Abney. He became the champion. Then Benavidez came back and won the belt back from Anthony.
You know the first time I saw Anthony Durrell? I believe it's him. Does he have a brother?
Yeah, he got a brother named Andre Durrell. They like fake twin brothers.
Okay. So I'm not sure. Did Anthony Durrell fight the kid from England?
Which one?
The dude that went to the Olympics for England, got the gold medal, 168. He retired recently.
Who we talk? Wait. Who we at 168?
Yeah.
Who we talking about? Oh, wait, you talking? I know who you talking about. You talking about James DeGale?
Yes. Did he fight DeGale?
Yeah.
He fought DeGale, right?
Yeah, he fought DeGale.
Okay, so let me just run you through this, bro. The first time I ever saw Durrell. See, because a lot of people think I just hate the PBC because it's hey, I'm a hater. No, I give people, you have an open slate with me. But I have my suspicions of you, and then you go ahead and confirm it, right? So This is what happened. So I kept hearing about the Durrell brothers and Durrell this and Durrell that, Durrell the other, right? And I'm looking at them for some reason. They just like, I'm like, this dude ain't shit, bro, So based on nothing, I'm gonna tell you quite honestly, I was like, based on nothing. I can't. It just didn't make sense to me. So I tune in. It was a Saturday afternoon, and this is when the PBC just first started. They had all these channels and all this shit. And one of their fights was DeGale against Durrell. In the middle of the afternoon. It was like maybe about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I tune in, I see, I say, well, let me see who the fuck is. You know that the tables are set for Durrell to win.
Yeah.
It's a PPC event. This guy, DeGale, was thrown in there as an opponent, basically, with a good name, with an English fighter with a Olympic medal and all that shit. And I think they were fighting for the WBC. Was it for the WBC belt, for the WBA?
No, I think you're talking about Badu Jack, man.
No. It was Durrell.
Let me check. Let me go. I'm getting fucking old. I'm stuck because there's two of them. He might have fought Andre.
He may have. That's why I wanted to make sure that I know what the hell I'm talking about.
Let me just go to DeGale shit because he probably did fight one of them. I don't know if it was Anthony though.
Go ahead. I know I saw DeGale fight one of the Durrells on a Saturday afternoon. And it was for a belt.
Nah, he never fought. Oh wait, he did. He fought Andre Durrell. He didn't fight Anthony. He fought Andre in 2015. Yeah, he did fight one of Durrell. Yeah.
So I see what I said. So to me, the Durrells, to me, they're like one. It's like I can't tell them apart. Whatever. Besides one, whatever. One of them doesn't fight, the other one does. I don't know.
Exactly, because I ain't seen Andre Durrell in a fight in a long motherfucking time.
I think since that day he got his ass beat by freaking DeGale. Really? That's the last time I heard of him.
Yeah,
So
like the last time he had a fight was in 2019.
yo, eso increíble, loco. So listen, so the guy gets in the ring, boom, and this dude, the Gale, proceeds to put an ass whipping on him. And I said, oh shit. The other fight that I remember was this Japanese kid. I think it was that same day. It was on the other card. He was a 100, I think 140 pounder or 147 pounder. A Japanese guy. He's a really good fighter. I like the style. They bring him in. I think he was fighting, I think the cowboy, Ryan.
I'm looking at the undercard of that shit right now.
Go ahead. Tell me.
I'm trying to see if I see a Japanese name. James DeGale, Edwin Rodriguez versus Craig Baker, Guzman, Chris, Robio, Cuevas, Salim. I don't see no Japanese names on this one. That must have been another card.
Look up Ryan Carl. Ryan Carl. Who did he fight?
Let me see. Ryan Carl. Let me look that shit up right now. Ryan. It's Carl, Carl, right?
No, Kararl, I think it is.
Oh, all right, K with a K. All right, I got it. Ryan Carl. Fuck was he supposed to be?
This was gonna be one of their big stars.
Fucking.
They were trying to push him, Ryan Carl. He's gonna be like their white boy star and shit, you know.
Oh shit. He got 3 L's. He lost one to Mario Barrios last year. Before that, he lost one to Kevin Watts in 2018. And before that, he lost to Eddie Ramirez in 2017.
Looking for a Japanese name in there.
Let me see a Japanese name. Aguilar, Quesada, Solis, Oliveira, Flores. Nah, no Japanese names, man. No Japanese names.
What the hell is that guy, man? It's a Japanese welterweight, man. The dude, I thought he was pretty good.
You talk like who? Brandon Lee?
No. This was he has like a Japanese game, like something Ogawa. So I don't know what the hell it is. Point is that I saw the fight that he was in. I felt that fight was stolen from that guy. I forget that guy's name, but I felt that the fight was stolen. It was slanted to the whoever the PBC was trying to push. I forget who the hell it was.
Well, bro, remember the last time that we talked that I told you that I don't feel that they fights is even fight.
Yeah.
The script, and they gonna give it to who they decided already, regardless of how the fight look. Because look at Rolly Romero and Marinas. He didn't win.
Draws, man. How about those draws,
bro? Like they good for those.
Draw after draw.
Like, listen. Lipinets versus Clayton. That shit was not a draw, bro. Clayton beat that dude. But because they wanted to use Lipinets for something else, they called the shit a draw.
Exactly. And that's how it is. Whatever when it's a close fight, and well, it's not close. It doesn't even have to really be a close fight.
Exactly.
But when it's a decision and it's gonna go the other way, and they have a name that they want to keep, feeding to people, and call it a draw, and that's it. Like what happened with the guy who got knocked out against one of the Charlos, Tony Harris.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It's so blatant. It's so blatant, man.
That's how they passing around Gamboa right now, bro. That's what they doing with Gamboa. They about to have Gamboa fight. What's this kid's name? Charles Conwell. I'm like, bro, people don't want to see this shit, bro. Like,
my man, there are retired fucking Hunts Point prostitutes that laugh at Gamboa right
now. Like, yo, he's still on the track. They still got you to go on the track.
They still have that nigga on the house, girl. It is such a sad thing, man.
like even Ray Beltran, you know, top rank use Ray Beltran, and I like Ray Beltran because I never saw a boring Ray Beltran fight. I like all his fights, whether he win or lose.
Right.
But even Ray Beltran, like you don't see him running around no more. Gambo
No.
is still out here getting fights. I'm like, who is
Yo,
licensing this man to fight?
Listen, Ray Beltran was treated with dignity, man.
Yeah,
He was treated with dignity. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? That fucking Christopher Diaz is being treated with dignity.
yeah.
He goes down, they give him a fight, they say, listen, you know, but this guy's, well, you get a shot at his belt. Boom, he takes it. But guess what? They slap the look what they do for him. They put it in little Puerto Rico.
Yep.
They put him on headlining on a Puerto Rican card, give him a nice undercard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, do your best. That's dignity, man. That's not.
And he'll get behind what he did in that fight. He'll get other fights because that was a crowd pleasing fight.
Right.
He'll get like if you go out there and that's the motherfucking secret. That's why Derek Chizora's still out here. Armando Escándalo on pay-per-views in the UK. Because if you put him on a card, he's gonna fucking fight. And it's gonna be entertaining.
Listen, I'm glad you bring up that, Chizola, because I did want to say that say this at some point in this conversation is that this weekend you can get Parker Chisora for free, whatever, $5 the zone, or Andy Ruiz against Ariola. Like, is there a comparison? Like, am I right or wrong?
No, y dije 80 tabla. 80 tabla.
I thought it was $50.
Oh, right. It's 50. I forget because I'm not buying that shit, bro.
I ain't gonna buy it any fucking way, but
I'm not buying that shit. Like, right, it's $50. It's 50. My fault. It's $50, y'all. For y'all that want to buy it.
For Chris,
I'm not buying that shit.
Listen, I tuned into Chris Ariola when he fought Klitschko. I bought the whole fucking
bro. That's how long.
I was watching HBO and I was like, yo, the first Mexican, and they had him running on the track. And
bro, they might as well have some. They might as well have him out there fighting Samuel Peter, bro, or Calvin Brock. For fighting Chris Ariola.
Chris Ariola is old, bro. Larry Merchant did that fight, bro.
Oh shit! That's like a million dog. That shit feels. That Klitschko Ariola, that shit feels like it's from another planet.
Dude, an attorney. I remember look, PBC was on HBO, bro, or whatever. Heyman was on HBO. His fight was on HBO. Wow. Okay, that's crazy, man. This is when Chris Ariola was Chris Ariola.
Yeah, the nightmare, bro. The nightmare.
I bought the whole thing. Like, damn, you know HBO can sell you some shit.
Yeah,
man.
of course. That was the machine. That was the motherfucking machine.
Hey, listen, they'll blow your ass up in a minute. And I bought it. I was like, yeah, Chris Ariola. I think I might have even rooted for it, but then he shows up in the ring and Klitschko just outclassed him.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of him. Though. Like, he really beat the shit out of him.
You're right. And I was like, wow, this man didn't even belong in the ring with this dude. Like, he didn't belong in the ring with him, man.
I'll say this much. For all the shit that you see on Twitter, right? That, you got pro PBC guys. I really wonder what that card is going to do. Because I know I'm not buying it. I'll be surprised if they sell 300,000 bars. Because I know I'm not buying that shit, bro. And I'm open-minded, but I'm not that fucking open-minded.
That's what they're going to report. It's going to be 300,000 buys. I don't see how that fight is not even Mexican. That fight is regional. That fight is fucking LA.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think the Mexicans from Texas give a fuck about them two dudes, bro. Maybe about Andy Ruiz a bit. But Andy Ruiz, he shit the bed so badly that last fight against AJ that he lost. The way that he showed up in that ring and the way he treated it, like, you lose a lot of people's respect, man. And one of the things that I love about Mexicans, like, they take their shit, they're for real, man. You know, you can't really, you know, they're not just gonna support any old bullshit. And
Why you think Zurdo Ramirez is not popular? Like they're not gonna support any old bullshit. Like not
Right.
just any old bullshit. Like,
Right.
bro, you don't want to fight nobody, bro.
That's what they think. Of course, I'm gonna give Suzo. You know, I'm always gonna say, hey, they did the same shit to him that they're doing to Crawford, basically.
They
You know?
did at 168, but you know, Top Rank had all the stars
Right.
at 175.
But now at 175, he did it to himself.
Exactly.
At 168, I gave him a pass. At 175, they offered you $1.5 million to fight Felix Varela on the undercard of Fury Wilder. The Navarrete fight was supposed to be him.
That's why I don't make excuses for Zurdo anymore. I gave him same as you. I gave him a pass for what happened at 168. I'm like, I know it's not your fault. The division was very political at the time. The only guy that probably would have fought you, he was in the World Boxing Super Series. That's George Groves. And I think George would have took a fight like that. But that was 68. That's in the past. You moved up in weight. You don't want to fight nobody. Top Rank has all the light heavyweights. You in the right place. What do? You leave.
You were in the house. The house. You were the house fighter. Listen, I really believe they brought that division to him. Because if you're really Top Rank, who do you want really? You want that fucking guy. You want Zurdo.
Yeah.
You want Zurdo with the Mexican fan base. You want him to beat the Gavostic. You want him to come and victorious. You want him to be better beef. You want him to beat all of them.
Yeah.
That's where your money is. And you want to have to make Canelo come to him or have a 50. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know you'll make money off the Zurdo before you make money off the Better Beef, before you make money off the Vosdick. You'll make money off the Zurdo, but he got to fight. He has to fight.
He was slated to. He was one half step from getting the call for that fight.
They put him in a 4-man tournament with motherfucking Joe Smith Jr., Umar Salamov, and Maxime Blasco, the dude that Joe Smith Jr. just fought.
I would have paid Joe Smith against Zurdo Ramirez. That's a nice fight, man.
That's a nice fucking fight.
Zurdo didn't want any of that. Zurdo didn't listen. You go somewhere else because you don't want to, and then as soon as you get somewhere else, it's like, yeah, I want him. I want Better Beef.
You see what he doing now? He gets to go. So let me get this straight. You went to Golden Boy so you could start calling out Better Beef.
Hello.
What the fuck? Like, come on, dog. I'm not fucking stupid, bro. Come on, dog.
Total joke. Now, the one thing I'm gonna give him is that at least he's not with the PBC.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
He's with Golden Boy. You know, if it comes out, he will get a fight. But they're probably gonna give him to Bivol at some point because Zurdo's supposed to fight on the undercard of Teofimo Lopez's shit on
Triller.
On Triller, right?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be on that undercard. So that's going to be interesting. That undercard's looking kind of nice.
It's looking all right. It is looking all right. I admit, it is looking all right.
You know what I'm saying? And I heard that they're going to be more about straight boxing for this card, you know, for this show. So I'm thinking I'm leading them out getting it, you know, plus that press conference that Teofimo did with Cambosos. They kind of had me. I'm like, you know, although I know it's a bunch of bullshit. Because how mad could Cambosos be at Lopez when he just put fucking $2.5 million in your pocket?
Knowing that you wasn't even gonna. If it wasn't for him, your purse wasn't gonna look like that, bro.
Nah,
I know you're not mad at him.
Cambosos was never gonna sniff $1 million. I don't think against anybody, bro. He's a $500,000, $750,000 fighter. That's what the hell he was.
I mean, and I'm not trying to knock him, but the facts are what the facts are. If that purse got that way, it wasn't because of you, bro. So I know you ain't really mad at Teo. You can't be.
Exactly.
You can't be.
Exactly. Which brings us to this, because I do. When this shit happened, bro, I kind of was trying to connect with you because I really want to talk about this. Listen, and you alluded to this in your subsequent posts around this subject. But all these people that got such a hard on over what Lopez did with Top Rank, it's like, yo, you just lost out on seeing him for free. And it's for a fight you didn't want to see, because this is the type of fight, right? This is the type of fight that they will say, oh, he's taking out, even though it's a man, though, oh, why he's fighting him? He should fight Haney. He should fight this. Well, all Top Rank was telling that dude to do, it's like, yo, dude, drop that belt, give us the Loma fight. What difference does it make to you? You don't care about this belt. You're going to want to fight at 140 later on this year anyway. So why holding on to this shit? It's meaningless. You know, the money was in the rematch with Loma. That's all the fuck they wanted.
Bro, listen, I said the shit before and I'll say it again. They turned a free ESPN fight into a pay-per-view. So if you over here sucking Lopez's dick talking about, oh, well, he deserved this, he deserved that. I hope you buying that fight then, motherfucker, with your bleeding heart. With your bleeding heart because you care so fucking much. You better buy that fight.
That's what I'm saying, man. All these people, at the end of the day, hey, it's Cambosos. Hello, hey, yo, my man, it's Cambosos. Calm the fuck down, bro.
That's yo, and motherfuckers got mad at me though when I said like, yo, it was look. If you go back to the comments of the videos that I did on that subject, you see people saying I'm a hater. You see people saying why the fuck I'm sticking up for. But I'm like, yo, listen, dog. Listen, dog. That shit is not an 80. That shit is not a pay-per-view, bro. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. That shit is not a pay-per-view.
It's not. It's not. That's all it was. All Top Rank wanted was like, dude, if you want this fight, this is how much money we can give you for this fight. If you want this fight, this is what we're gonna give you for this fight. If you want that kind of the money you're talking about, give us this other fight. We'll pay you that kind of money. That's what.
No. Listen. I'm gonna tell you what. The only way, and I said this in one of the videos I did. The only way I'll buy that fight, it's not for Zerto. It definitely ain't for Teofimo. There's a girl fight that they talking about putting on there. That's the only motherfucking way they'll get my money.
Word? Which one?
La chica que peleó con la mexicana that was on steroids. She bought the unified titles for the undisputed at 168 with a Swede. If they make that fight, and I know that's a good fight. There was a girl from Maryland, right? She campaigns at 168. She fought this Mexican girl that ended up being on steroids with growth hormone or some wild shit.
Yes, I remember.
All right, now she got 2 belts. La Morena, she got 2 belts, and there's a Swedish girl. She got the other 2 belts. If they make that fight, which is what they're talking about, and they put that on the undercard, that's the only motherfucking way I'm buying that fight, because that's a real fight. That's more of a fight. That's more of a real fight than Lopez versus Kambosos. Lopez probably gonna knock that man out easy peasy. Wow. Let's stop it. Wow. Let's cut it out.
But explain to me this. 168, you saying those 2 ladies are at 168?
There's 2 champions at 168 right now. It's only 2 because they got the 4 belts split between them. The girl from Maryland has 2. Her name is Francon. And the girl from Sweden has 2. Her name is Aline. The only way I will, and I'm telling you, like, if they make the fight, just look for that fight. Trust me, that's gonna be the best fight on the card. Not Lopez versus Kambosos. So that's gonna be the best fight on the card.
Wasn't those belts at one point belonging to what's her name?
See, well, this is the thing. She was never undisputed at 168. She was undisputed at 160. And right now she's undisputed at 154. He was never undisputed at 168. She had 2 belts, and then she left them. When she moved down, she vacated those belts.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so te voy a decir, de verdad, si tú quieres ver una pelea, que es una pelea, like it's a fight, it's a contest where it's like, yo, it's 50-50. They both got a real chance of beating the other girl. That's the only fight that's like that on that whole card because Teofimo Lopez versus Cambosos is not a 50-50 fight. So get the fuck out of my face. If you want to put something on pay-per-view, it needs to be a 50-50 fight, or at least a 60-40. And that is not Lopez versus Cambosos. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck you gonna pay for some shit that you know what's gonna happen? Like tomorrow's fight. Why the fuck would I pay 50 or 80 or whatever
Whatever.
for Ruiz versus Areola? Come
It's
on.
the principle. It's the principle of it, man. Like, stop, man. And you know, and these idiots think they just stuck on this whole mantra that PPV pay-per-view it means some fucking thing.
It don't. Not any. It used to. It used to, but not anymore. Not when they started putting shit like this on pay-per-view and stop Matt. Like, bro, look. Santa Cruz versus Davis ain't no pay-per-view fight. Get the fuck out of here. Like, what the fuck? What? Lukewarm Leo. Who the fuck gets excited when he fight? I want to know. Because I don't. The last exciting fight he had was the Carl Frampton rematch. That was years ago.
Right. You know, but that's the whole thing. But like I said, man, they got people really have to start understanding. And I know it's a bitter pill to swallow because I've said when I say this to some people, they're like, "Oh, again, you're a hater, you this and that under the sun, right?" But the pay-per-view means they don't have the money to pay.
Yeah, that's what it means today.
To pay these fighters what they want. Or basically they don't have the money to pay these fighters, so they're gonna say, "Look, we're gonna feed you by going to pay." It's crazy. It's no different, right? Well, actually, it's a bit different than what Bob did with what's his name with Crawford's first fight.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
When they did it on pay-per-view against Postol, and that was a legit fight, man.
It was a legit fight, but see, that's the thing. And Bob explained that shit. That in order to make the fight happen, the fighters want certain money. So we're gonna put them on pay-per-view to see if they can get it. Because we ain't just gonna give you that, bro. No. Nobody is in the business of giving money away. Like, I'm sorry, but ain't nobody gonna do that. Ain't nobody trying to do that. The fight has a certain value. You don't have to fucking like it. The fight has a certain value. Lopez versus Cambosos. How many fucking tickets do you think that shit was gonna move? How many?
I think Lopez Cambosos would have maybe sold, especially if everything was open. They could have put it in Australia. It would have been really nice. They could have put it in New York. Even in the 5,000 seat room, I think Teofimo Lopez can do that. But what it is not is a pay-per-view fight.
I'll say this much, right? I understand, and I said this is the same shit I said in the video. I understand where Lopez is coming from, and I think the Top Rank fucked up on one thing. Let that motherfucker go to Triller. If Triller want to pay him, let him. Fuck it.
Right.
If Matchroom want to pay him, fuck it, let him. It's one fight. We not paying for that bullshit.
Right.
Fuck it. Let him do it. Where they fucked up at was emailing Eddie Hearn. That's where you fucked up at. If Eddie want to pay for that shit, hey, let Eddie pay for that shit. Take your 10% and work on some shit when Teofimo comes back. Don't block him. Don't cock block him. Let him go over there and make that money because at least you get a surplus of $800,000 or something like that. You'll get a surplus of money if you let those motherfuckers pay for it. So let them.
They made more money on that on the Triller bid than they would have made had they made the fight themselves.
Exactly. They might have fucked around and lost money trying to satisfy his demands.
For real. There ain't no doubt about that.
Hold on, my kids is bothering me. That whipped cream is broken because you let it turn into fluid. You gotta throw it out.
And you don't see nothing's coming out. All the CO2 is out of the can. There's nothing to spit it out. It won't work. You gotta dump it.
Yeah, my daughter messed up the damn whipped cream.
Oh,
Did you buy whipped cream for me that day?
No, I didn't. Come on, get out of here. But yeah, yo, it's like they wouldn't have made no money off of like, and it's not knocking Lopez. It's just that the fight is worth what the fight is worth. It's nobody's fault. Do you really think? Take Triller out of it. Just take Triller out of it. And say that fight would have been on ESPN. You probably would have got 1 million views. I think it would have got 1 million views. But that ain't no hot ticket. That ain't no hot ticket. Not by itself.
I'll tell you what it was. What it was is one of these textbook fights that everybody complains about. That
Yeah.
then you start accusing people, ducking people. Oh, and then you try to tell them, oh, that was his man, though. No, he ducked. He could have just ducked up. He could, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as it turned into a negative for Top Rank, then it became like, oh, yeah. He got to get his money and Bob this and Bob that, Bob this. Bottom line, let me tell y'all motherfuckers out there one thing, bro. Bottom line is that 8 fights ago, you didn't know who Teofimo Lopez was.
That's true.
8 fights ago, you didn't know who the fuck he was.
I'm gonna say this. It ain't even that, Alexis. Let me say this. It's always a $5 motherfucker talking that shit.
Hey.
It's always a $5 cracked iPhone scuff sneaker motherfucker talking that shit. It's only them. Because a motherfucker like me, now I agree with Bob. That shit is not a big fight. What the fuck are you talking about? I am a consumer. I spend money on boxing every month. And I'm telling you, that motherfucking fight ain't no hot ticket. So don't cry me a fucking river. You know you ain't. You know if they put that for all the shit you saying to put it on pay-per-view, why? Your broke ass ain't gonna buy it.
Nope.
You wait for motherfuckers like me to buy it.
Right.
It's always a $5 motherfucker talking that money shit. Like, bro, you're not gonna buy none of these shit. You're gonna crack stream all of them shits. So shut the fuck up and stop talking about that shit. You don't buy fights. I buy fights. I even bought a fucking couple of PBC pay-per-views. Did you?
I'll tell you who didn't. I'm a motherfucking man. Principles. No, but listen, check this out. I'm not gonna buy Spence Mikey Garcia. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
No, I didn't buy that bullshit.
I'll tell you, the one that I did procure was Pacquiao Thurman. I was,
No, I bought that.
That I did. You know what I mean?
I bought Spence versus Porter, Pacquiao Thurman.
Spence Porter también, yes.
I bought that. I bought those.
Go ahead.
I think I bought the second Wilder fight. It was one of them that I think. Yeah, I bought the second one, not the first one. I didn't buy the first. Like, I was like, man, fuck that shit. But I'm like, all right, let me see the second one. I bought the second one.
Talking about Spence Porter, man. Why isn't that a thing? Wasn't that a great fight?
It should have been a rematch.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. The PPC keeps missing opportunities to actually build the superstars and legends that they claim themselves to be, but they never finish the puzzle. Sometimes that rematch is necessary. You can create your own legendary status. Look at what Top Rank did with Barreras and Morales.
Moreover, Alexis, look at how Top Rank, like a Top Rank fighter that the usual suspects think is make or break, like Lomachenko, for example.
Right.
They'll have a Lomachenko, they'll build him up, and when he lose, Top Rank don't got to bat an eyelash. Why? Because Lopez is their fighter, you dickhead. Y'all rooting for Lopez like he not a Top Rank fighter. Well, if it's Lopez winning or Loma winning, it's the same shit. Now, PBC, if something happens to Errol Spence, who picks up the reins, bro?
Nobody. And that's
Danny Garcia?
That's why they feel they need to protect that asset. They don't got that deep.
Did you see
roster.
WandaVision? Did you see WandaVision?
Say that again.
Did you see WandaVision?
Oh, no. Why?
All right. In WandaVision, there's this big fucking bubble that surrounds the whole fucking town. And inside of that bubble is Errol Spence Jr. behind 10 feet of fucking concrete. They don't want to let Crawford sneeze in that man's direction, bro.
No. That nigga Spence could never contract COVID. Ain't nobody near him close enough.
Bro, they gave him Pfizer and Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson just to make sure.
Wrapped in plastic. He's like John Travolta right now. He's the boy in the plastic bubble, man.
That dude is under bubble wrap and baby oil behind 10 feet of concrete inside of a force field in an undisclosed military installation.
Yup. And
riding horses.
And it's sad. As much shit as the people talk about Crawford, I don't believe that missing a really, what they call that, a signature fight, a signature win. I don't think that this guy did a signature win either. Maybe the Porter fight because it was such a classic.
No, because you know why you can't. It's a signature fight because it was a great fight, right?
Right.
But it's not a signature win because he didn't even fucking look good in that fight. Some people thought he lost. I didn't forget that. After the fight, it was people saying, "Nah, it looked like Porter, or maybe the knockdown saved it for Spence." But I know Spence ain't look good.
Listen, without that knockdown, man, and it's crazy because I was surrounded by PBC lovers when I saw that fight, and it was crazy how much hate there was pouring on for Porter, man. They're like, yeah, that bum ass nigga, that this and that, and I'm like, yo, he's with that Porter's he's PBC, like.
No, pero chequea. Porter went. Wait a minute. You couldn't have said that Porter's gonna make it a good fight before because I said Spence don't hit hard enough to stop this guy. Motherfuckers got mad. Like he don't hit enough to stop this guy. He couldn't drop Mikey Garcia. He's gonna stop Porter. No fucking way. You went on points. You won't stop Porter. Motherfuckers got mad at me only so that after the fight, Sean Porter could become the gatekeeper to Shangri fucking lie. Like, no, you gotta fight Porter. You gotta fight Porter. Well, why? Because
exactly.
Fucking shit.
Listen, do you listen to podcasts at all?
Some. Very rarely do I listen to podcasts.
Let me ask you, who do you listen to?
I'll listen to Mannix's depending on who's on.
Okay.
I'll listen to Copinger's, Mike and Cop. I'll listen to that.
That's about it?
Really, yeah. Because I only listen to him for news.
All right. So I listen to a couple. One of them, the premier one for me is for varying reasons is because they give you enough boxing and enough news, but also like some entertainment value. These guys have a rapport with each other. Is Steve Kim and Mario Lopez.
The 3 knockdown rule. Very, very good podcast. Very good podcast.
Yeah, very, very good podcast. But you know which podcast? I listen to Chris Mannix kind of like religiously because I can't stand Chris Mannix. I love to listen to Chris Mannix not only, but when this guy, what's his name? That idiot, El Idiota is the
Copinger. Copinger.
No. When Mannix has his sidekick from the Zone, the ex-fighter.
Oh, Mora, Sergio Mora.
Yeah, I call him Sergio Moron. So, anyway, so I feel like the two buffoons, but they get enough of real boxing things done. That's another one I listen to. Not very high on my list, but you know who's growing on me?
Who?
Yo, Sean Porter's, bro.
Sean has a great fucking podcast.
Yo, the Porter way is good, man.
Sean has a great not for nothing, no, and I'm not bullshitting. he's good. Like he's good.
He's a
Like he
great
can go somewhere with
broadcast.
that shit.
He's a great He's great on that mic, man. I feel like, listen, I got a lot of love for Sean Porter, man. Like
Honestly,
honestly,
he's probably the only PBC fighter that I really like as a human being. Like, I'm like, yo, Sean need to get the fuck away. It's too late. It's too late. But he's talented, bro. Like, he don't really gotta fight. Like, he could go somewhere with that podcast, bro.
You know what it is? Sean Porter was raised right. These other PBC fighters ain't had no daddies.
That's yeah.
They come from fucking broken homes, bro.
Yeah.
You see the difference. You see the difference between his character and integrity, the way he carries himself, the way he speaks, and what his focus is on life, and and that Porter Way podcast. And let me tell you something. If you listen to, I don't know if you listen to his latest podcast. I don't know if he puts out 2 or 1 a week, but the one for the Navarrete fight. Listen, around the 20-25 minute mark of that podcast, he starts breaking down Navarrete and what makes him great.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, nobody says it like this guy. He sees it. He spoke about Navarrete like the way that people should talk about Navarrete, because how they speak about Navarrete is like he's some fucking fluke.
Yeah. I noticed that. I know, like, they wrote him off in the Ruben Villa fight. They wrote him off. They was writing him off for the fucking D. I'm like, yo, why are y'all sleeping on this dude, bro?
Yes. Let me tell you something, man. What it is with sports writers, and it's very hard for them to, and I noticed this, man. For sports writers, once they put one thing out there and it gets dismissed, they really can't deviate from it, and they just can't even see the truth that's hitting them in their face, man.
I think that's what it is, because it's like you want him to be a piece of shit,
right?
And maybe you said that he was a piece of shit before, and you want to be right, that like, nah, he's just a piece of shit. No, he ain't. He convinced me in that. I'm gonna say this. I learned from my mistakes. After them Dog Bay fights, I'm like, yo, I'm not fucking around with this guy. This guy's serious shit, because Dog Bay was my guy. That was my fucking guy.
Listen, when he said what I noticed from Navarrete, that dude, what he's doing there is not a mistake. It's not a happenstance. It's not. What he does, he sets motherfuckers up, man. He will throw this jab out there from both. Because you know that he switches stances, right?
Yeah, he switches stances.
Depending on which way he's standing, he will shoot the jab from the upper hand, the lead hand. He'll shoot the jab like to the outside of the shoulder, making the guy dip one way. All of a sudden, he throws he feints that jab coming, and he throws the other hand. Boom! It catches you. These long distance freaking uppercuts.
Yeah, because he dig with them fucking uppercuts. Like, he feinted. He takes a step forward. He feints the right and shoots this long ass fucking. That's the uppercut that knocked Diaz down. He steps forward, feints right, and shoots this long ass shovel uppercut. Like, it was like from the fucking floor. Knocked Diaz right on his fucking ass. I'm surprised he got up. I'm surprised he got like, yo, you gonna get up? I'd have stayed down there, bro.
So
if it was me, I'd have stayed right down there.
What I think happens is that from the distance that he's standing, right? I think that his opponents are used to only being reached with a jab.
Yeah.
From that distance, right? And though, if you saw the Diaz fight, and I know you did, he actually parried that first uppercut he threw. He parried it. The announcer said, "Oh, looks like Diaz really prepared for that one. He looks like he's aware of that uppercut, because he parried it pretty good." But the thing is this: that's the first and second round.
Yeah, that's when Diaz wanted to box from the outside, work off the counter, and that shit. Eventually, that shit stopped working. Like, I motherfucker, I got something for that.
But
I got something for that.
My theory on why that stops working with Navarrete is this. So let's say, because it even happened with Ruben Villa, because Ruben Villa was boxing pretty beautifully
At first.
for Spurs. What it is that you prepare for him, but you have to prepare for him in such for such an unorthodox fighter, right? So now you're focused in the beginning of rounds. It's like you're fresh off your training camp, so you're aware of this. But guess what? Once he starts hitting the 4th and 5th rounds, you're going to revert to what you've always done and fought against everybody. You understand what I'm saying?
The other shit is when you fighting a guy that's big for the weight, like Navarrete. Because even for that weight, he's tall.
He's big, yeah.
He's tall. He has long arms.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing from the outside, that's a very, very risky plan. A dude like Diaz in that situation, which was working for a little while in the last leg of the fight, you got to close the gap and stay close to Navarrete because he has long arms. Them guys with them long arms, they can't really do much inside fighting. Their arms are too long. When Diaz was working his body, he was killing that shit. It's just you came to that conclusion too late. You started off the fight boxing from the outside.
Yeah,
you started off burying your head in that motherfucker's chest and working his midsection.
Diaz did some. He was looking like Canelo for a minute, digging to the body with that side and bam and hitting him. But I think that, and I think you got to see Navarrete again, because that's the whole other thing. Where people, you got to box from the inside, box from the inside. Hey, listen, Navarrete can fight in the inside.
Yep,
he can. He's not lost on the inside.
He can, but when you compare because remember he beat the shit out of Dog Bay on the inside, not the outside. On the inside, he beat the shit out of him. So he could box on the inside. It's just that you got to compare the plans. Do I box this tall, long-armed motherfucker from the outside, or do I bury my head in his chest on the inside where maybe he won't have as much power? 9 times out of 10 against the taller fighter, that's what you got to do. You got to stay close to him. Stay close to him. Because from the outside, they can generate a lot of power. When he feinted the right and then brought over that left uppercut, that was from the outside, bro. He generate a lot of power from the outside. So you don't want to do that, bro. After he got dropped, that's when he decided, okay, I got to do something else. I can't box this motherfucker from the outside.
Yeah, and the thing with Navarrete is that the other book on him is that he's slow. How does he keep fucking people up? He's that slow.
Exactly.
You know? And that's the thing. And Sean Porter broke him down so well. Like I was like, yes, Sean sees it. Sean said that Navarrete has the ability to actually change his punch as it's being delivered. So he's shooting one punch and he's not gonna get there one way, and he just changes the trajectory of it right on the way. It's like pitching and shit, and he just said, and that's like, yeah, man, that's exactly what the fuck he does. And the thing is that when you have that kind of element of surprise, you don't have to be fast.
Well, you can't prepare for a motherfucker like that.
Right.
I think Navarrete beats Gary Russell, beats the shit out of him.
I believe that. You know who I think really beats him though?
Who?
I think Shakur Stevenson can.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm gonna say. Look, this is what I'm gonna say. Shakur wants him at 130. I think 130 is Navarrete's ceiling. I don't think he could go past there, and I think that he won't be. This is his best weight. 126, 130. A lot of that shit ain't gonna work, man. A lot of that shit might not work up there. Not with those guys. But at 126, I'm telling you, he beats Gary Russell. He beat him.
Gary Russell doesn't even whisper his name, man. And I disagree. I don't think that 130 is a ceiling. I think he could get beat at 130. I believe. But let me just tell you why I think Shakur Stevenson. Why do you think I think that Shakur Stevenson can beat him?
Because I'll put it this way. For me, Shakur was always big for 126. He's big for 130. I think Shakur will cap out at maybe 140 because he's big and he's still growing. He's a southpaw. He could box. He's quick. What's working for Navarrete right now is the same thing that was working for Maxime Vlasov. You got a really big guy who can move and can punch, and he's durable. But it's his size that makes him hard to deal with. He could bang on the outside, he could bang on the inside, and it's hard to keep him off. Shit that Maxime Vlasov did to Joe Smith Jr., that's more or less what Navarrete be doing to motherfuckers. He just throw more punches. That's the only difference.
More powerful. Yeah, you're
more
right.
power. Yeah,
with more power. Okay, so this is the reason why I think Shakur can beat Navarrete is, and I'm not even sealing that 1,000%. I'm just saying that I think that Shakur has what it takes to beat him. I believe it because of Shakur's superior reflexes.
He's quick.
Shakur, forget quick. I'm talking about straight up reflexes. I'm talking about being able to react to things coming at him. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And when you have that kind of his reflexes, then you don't have to rely on whether a person is an orthodox fighter or an unorthodox fighter, or if you've seen him before, if he's weird, this and that. Because you're just reacting to shit coming at you, and your reflexes are that fast that you can just get the fuck out the way. And that's what Shakur does. The other thing is that Shakur, he does have, I don't know if you agree with me this year, but he does have a lot of Mayweather in him in poise.
Yeah.
He has the kind of poise that doesn't that helps him not deviate from his game plan no matter what the fuck you do. He makes you do what he wants you to do, or the fight's gonna be fought where he wants it to be. He has a lot of that in him.
Yeah. I agree with that. That's ring generalship.
Yes. And I think that I could see Navarrete, if he doesn't get to Shakur and misses a lot, I may see Navarrete get a little bit flustered and not being able to catch up with being outboxed. The way it's like what Villa did at his best in his fight, but Shakur could do it for a longer period of time at a higher level. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
So that's what I see. That's what I see, and it's a fight that I would love to see. I
think Shakur is actually all wrong for him, but that conversation about Navarrete versus Shakur, that shit is premature, man. That shit ain't about to happen.
No, right.
That shit to me don't happen till maybe the middle or the end of 2022. If it does happen.
At least. And the thing about Navarrete, and PBC fans don't want to really look at this, is that if Gary Russell wanted Navarrete, he could get Navarrete. Navarrete is not a 1,000% top ranked fighter. He is a Zanfer fighter.
Exactly.
And he will go, and Zappa will take him wherever the fuck he needs to go to get the biggest fight. So if they
a lot of shit gets disguised behind Top Rank and PBC when at the end of the day, it's not always about Top Rank. It's just that y'all motherfuckers don't want to fight nobody. Let's take the Top Rank out of it. Do you want to fight Golden Boy fighters? Do you want to fight Matchroom fighters?
Right.
It look like y'all motherfuckers just don't want to fight nobody. So let's not even keep it. Oh, it's a PBC Top Rank. No, he's with Zanfer, bro. He's with Zanfer. He's more with Zanfer, to be honest, than he is with Zanfer.
Not more with Zanfer. He is Zanfer. Top Rank is co-promoted, and what keeps them Zanfer, what keeps Navarrete on the Top Rank's wing is the way that they treat him. Like, yo, we're gonna give you a lot of fights. You like fighting a lot. We're gonna put you in the ring a lot. We're gonna put you on the undercards of our biggest fights. We're gonna put you on features. Like, they have to do for this man to keep him around, bro.
Yeah,
they have to do it for this man. You know, and Zanfa is the type of their relationship with Top Rank is such that they know that Top Rank, you know, listen, they're gonna do right by us. You know what I'm saying?
Fernando, see what I like about Fernando, really, Fernando Beltran, the president of Zanfa, to me, is one of the unsung heroes of boxing. Because
Agreed.
he'll work with Bob, he'll work with Eddie, he'll work with fucking
Everybody.
whoever.
He's all over the place. He's got to fight with every fucking body.
But you don't ever hear. But God forbid I should say that. Hey, I like Fernando Beltran more than I like Al Heyman. I honestly.
Then you're racist. Then you're racist, and you're just supporting Latinos and shit.
Exactly. Like I can't just be a boxing fan that likes boxing matches, and I like boxing matches with a lot of action. It can't be that. Like, look, Zanfa Promotions made the rematch with Quadras and Estrada last year. That was a fight of the fucking year. That fight. That was Zanfa Promotions, bruh. That was, to me, that was a fight of the year. Before Estrada and Chocolatito and they rematch, when things were still locked down, they had Estrada versus Quadras behind closed doors, and that really was a Zanfa card more than a Top Rank card. But if you were in this part of the world, you were seeing it by way of Top Rank, ESPN, yada, yada, yada. Right. That was the fight of the fucking year, bro. Zanfa Promotions. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this live short, man. That clicking is driving me crazy. I gotta figure out what the fuck that is. I'm going live tomorrow. I don't know what that shit is. Alexis, always a pleasure.
Yo, always a pleasure, my brother. All right?
All right.
Peace out.